thanks for joining Aso Briefing today. I am Hadi Sidi Siraju, our top stories. President Bola Tinubu commends security agencies over rescue of 308 Nigerians abducted in Niger and Kwara states. FCT Minister Wiki assures investors of favorable returns as he opens Abuja Investment Expo 3.0. Nigerian Immigration Service clears air on ongoing implementation of passport centralization reforms. And on business, federal government to pay outstanding wage award of public servants by mid-August 2026. Promotion arrears in progress. Another news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed the successful rescue of 308 Nigerian citizens who were abducted in different attacks in Niger and Kwara states. The president, in a statement on Wednesday, said the victims were rescued from the Kainji Lake National Park forest in New Busa, local government area of Niger State, following a coordinated intelligence-driven operation by the National Counterterrorism Center (NCTC), involving personnel from the Armed Forces of Nigeria, the Department of State Services, and the Nigerian Police Force. It described the rescue as the largest rescue operation ever carried out on the same day by a joint security team. President Tinubu commended the leadership and personnel of the security agencies for their bravery, seamless inter-agency collaboration, and dedication, which made the recovery of the victims possible. The statement also added that the rescued victims are receiving first aid and essential medical care at the medical facility at Wawa Cantonment and will be formally handed over to the state government for comprehensive care and reunification with their families upon completion of their medical evaluations. While applauding the return of the victims, the president stressed the importance of bolstering national security infrastructure to prevent future occurrences. He directed security agencies and relevant stakeholders to immediately strengthen early warning mechanisms, enhance community-level intelligence gathering, and improve rapid response capabilities to avert similar incidents across the country. President Tinubu also reassured all Nigerians that his administration remains steadfast in its resolve to eliminate security threats, protect vulnerable communities, and restore lasting peace across every corner of the nation. Now moving to the nation's capital, where the minister, Barrister Wiki, has declared Abuja open for local and international investment, assured investors of a business-friendly environment, while warning the FCT administration will not tolerate land fraud, speculative activities, or illegal development that undermine the Abuja master plan. Speaking to the Minister of State for the FCT, Dr. Mariam Mahmoud, at the opening of the Abuja Business and Investment Expo 3.0 in Abuja, Barrister Wiki said the ongoing infrastructure drive under President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda is creating the foundation of sustainable economic growth. He listed investments in roads, water supply, transportation, healthcare, and education as key to position Abuja as a leading investment destination. The minister said the FCT's fourth place ranking in the 2025 Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council's Ease of Doing Business assessment demonstrates the administration's commitment to improving governance and simplifying investment processes. He added that reforms in land administration, digital governance, and revenue collection are aimed at enhancing transparency and boosting investor confidence. Barrister Wike stressed that while genuine investors will continue to enjoy government support, the administration will take decisive action against fraudulent land allocations, multiple ownership claims, and illegal developments. He also identified real estate, agricultural tourism, healthcare, education, renewable energy, technology, and creative industries as priority sectors for investment across Abuja, including the satellite towns. Earlier, the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Abuja Investments Company Limited, Ambassador Maureen Tamunu, described the expo as a platform for attracting investment and fostering partnerships. She said the three-day event themed Building Nigeria's Capital, Investment as a Catalyst for Economic Growth will feature exhibitions, investment forums, and policy dialogues designed to unlock new economic opportunities for the Federal Capital Territory. Now, the Kuje Area Council has commenced the evacuation of refuse heaps and the clearing of blocked drainages across the Kuje Township Stadium and adjoining areas as part of its commitment to ensuring a cleaner and healthier environment. Correspondent Abdullah Mukhtar reports.
Speaking on behalf of the chairman of Kuje Area Council, Mr. Samuel Danjuma Shekwelo, the Director of Environmental Health, Sanitarial Gloria Akpogbu, said the exercise is in line with the chairman's directive to eliminate illegal refuse dump sites and improve environmental sanitation across the council. She explained that the Environmental Sanitation Committee has already mobilized to site, deploying trucks and a wheel loader to ensure the timely evacuation of the accumulated waste.
As a capacity chairman, it's somebody that he said, Madam, this thing must be done, and you people can see it. We are doing the work today, not a casual job, a complete evacuation, not half evacuation. And the environs, they are happy now that things are happening. A lot of refuse are dumped here, illegal dumping, and today we are ready to evacuate all.
Senator Akpobu further disclosed that sanitary guards and vigilantes will be stationed at the location to enforce compliance and prevent indiscriminate dumping of refuse. She noted that the prompt commencement of the exercise demonstrates the chairman's commitment to fulfilling his campaign promises and improving environmental sanitation throughout the area council.
We are going to put sanitary guard here, and we are going to distribute dustbin bin to all the houses around, so that every month we go around and pick them and evacuate. So it's not going to be business as usual. And I'm warning the Kuje people, once we see you dump illegally now, the task force will hold you.
The chairman of the Kuje Area Council Sanitation Committee, Mr. Habakpo John, said the exercise will provide residents with a cleaner and healthier environment. Also speaking, a resident of the area, Barrister Raji, commended the council's effort and urged the administration to sustain the initiative.
Well, what you are seeing here is the dividends of what we voted for just some few months ago. And I believe more is coming. This is just the beginning. We saw the greatness in Sam, and that's why we went for it.
The stadium is the eye of this local government. This stadium, even though it's not completed, it's the eye. It's the one you use in describing, this place.
The exercise forms part of the present administration's agenda to promote a cleaner environment across Kuje Area Council and its environs. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
Now, the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, has clarified the ongoing implementation of its passport centralization reform, assuring Nigerians that passport processing and issuance remain available at all passport offices nationwide and at designated Nigerian embassies and consulates abroad. A statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Deputy Controller of Immigration Akinlabi Akinshola, says the migration of passport production to the Central Personalization Center at the service headquarters in Abuja is strictly an operational reform and will not affect access to passport services. According to the statement, the reform is part of the service's modernization program aimed at strengthening the security, integrity, and efficiency of Nigeria's passport issuance system. The service explained that the implementation is being carried out in 5 phases to reduce operational risk and ensure uninterrupted service delivery. 3 phases have already been completed, while phase 4 is scheduled for August 2026, and the final phase is expected to be completed before the end of the year. Under the new system, all passport booklets will be printed and personalized at the Secure Central Personalization Center in Abuja before being dispatched to passport offices across Nigeria and Nigerian missions abroad within 2 weeks. The statement adds that passport offices nationwide and designated embassies and consulates will be continuing to receive applications, process requests, and issue passports as usual. The Nigerian Immigration Service says the reform eliminates manual intervention in passport personalization, enhances accountability, improves security features, and guarantees uniform quality standards in line with international best practices. The service therefore urges applicants to continue accessing passport services at their preferred passport offices, reaffirming its commitment to deploying technology-driven solutions that improve service delivery while safeguarding the integrity of Nigeria's passport system. Now, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority chapter of the National Association of Air Traffic Engineers has distanced itself from recent comments by the association's national leadership on the proposed review of the ticket sales charge sharing formula. In a communique signed by the chairman of the NCAA chapter, Agunwere Frederick, the chapter said it was neither consulted nor involved before the position was made public, stressing that the statement does not represent the views of its members. The chapter noted that the ticket sales charge is a statutory source of funding for aviation agencies and warned that any reduction in the NTA's allocation could undermine its ability to carry out critical regulatory functions, including safety inspections, certification, licensing, and compliance with international aviation standards. According to the communique, reduced funding could weaken safety oversight, delay regulatory approvals, limit inspector training, and affect Nigeria's standing with global aviation bodies, including the International Civil Aviation Organization. While acknowledging the need for adequate funding for the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, the NTA chapter says strengthening one aviation agency should not come at the expense of another, especially the industry's safety regulator. The chapter calls for wider consultation, constructive dialogue, and sustainable funding solutions that will support all aviation agencies without compromising aviation safety or regulatory effectiveness. Now, a team from the United Kingdom's Department for Transport has commenced a 3-day aviation security assessment at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The exercise, which runs from August 4 to 6, is aimed at evaluating the effectiveness of security measures at Nigeria's busiest international airport and ensuring compliance with international aviation security standards. The assessment will also examine security procedures for flights operating from Lagos to the United Kingdom, with a focus on Air Peace, British Airways, and Virgin Atlantic. The exercise forms part of the UK's routine oversight of airports and airlines operating services into the country and is expected to strengthen aviation security cooperation between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Now, the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alaus, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to repositioning technical and vocational education and training, TVET, as a key driver of industrialization, economic competitiveness, and youth empowerment, with the inauguration of the governing board of the National Board for Technical Education in Abuja. Dr. Alaus described the inauguration as a major milestone in the implementation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed agenda, which prioritizes education and human capital development as critical pillars of national growth. He stated that the administration is shifting the nation's education system from an over-reliance on paper qualifications to producing highly skilled, innovative, and job-ready graduates capable of driving entrepreneurship, productivity, and industrial development. The minister charged the newly inaugurated board to provide strategic leadership and accelerate critical reforms, including the implementation of the recognition of prior learning framework and the modernization of curricula to reflect industry's 4.0 realities. He stressed the need for stronger alignment between education and industry, fiscal discipline, accountability, and greater emphasis on practical skills that will enhance employability and national productivity. Responding on behalf of the board, Chairman of the MBTE Governing Board, Professor Babatunde El-Salaku, thanked President Bola Tinubu and the Minister of Education for the confidence reposed in the members. He described the inauguration as the beginning of a new chapter for technical education in Nigeria and pledged the board's full support for the federal government's TVET reform agenda. Professor Salaku also identified changing the perception of technical education as a second-choice option as one of the board's top priorities, calling for sustained public enlightenment to encourage greater acceptance of TVET as a respected pathway to employment, entrepreneurship, and national development, assuring Nigerians that the board will deliver effective governance and measurable results. Now, the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to upholding the fair character principle in all its operations, while pledging closer collaboration with the Fair Character Commission to deepen equity, fairness, and national integration. The DG of NYSC, Brigadier General Olakune Nafi, gave the assurance during a courtesy visit to the Executive Chairman of the Fair Character Commission, Hulayat Motunrayo Omidino, at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. General Nafi commended the Commission for its steadfast commitment to ensuring equity in recruitment, appointments, promotions, and the distribution of personnel across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. He noted that the NYSC has consistently adhered to due process and government regulations in the discharge of its statutory responsibilities, earning widespread recognition for excellence in public service delivery. The Executive Chairman of FCC, Fair Character Commission, Hulayat Omidino, explained that the Commission was established to promote fairness and inclusiveness in the operations of government institutions by ensuring equitable representation of all segments of Nigerian Federation. She urged ministries, departments, and agencies to strictly adhere to the Commission's policies and guidelines in order to sustain public confidence and prevent feelings of marginalization among citizens. When Aso Briefing returns, more stories on business and more. Please stay with us. You are watching Aso Briefing. Watch us live on DSTV channel 390, also on StarTimes TV channel 127 and PTV channel 507. We are also on YouTube channel 38. And the news continues. The Nigerian Institute of Management Maitama chapter has organized a career development seminar aimed at preparing final year students for the transition from academic life to the professional world. The event team transitioning from the academic world to the world of work brought together industry experts, academics management, professionals, and students to discuss the skills and competencies required to succeed in today's healthy, competitive labor market. Pelumia DME has more details.
Addressing participants during the program, the organizers of the workshop emphasized the need for students to cultivate leadership qualities, effective communication skills, teamwork, critical thinking, and adaptability in order to meet the demands of modern workplaces. Chairman Institute of Management Maitama Chapter, Mrs. Apollina Akudo Odia, disclosed that the initiative was designed to bridge the gap between and practical workplace experience, while equipping young graduates with the knowledge needed to excel in their chosen fields.
So all the knowledge you have acquired in school, what are you going to do with it? How creative are you going to be? That's what this whole workshop is about. So that clear shift from academic to the world of work, that's what we are here. We came around to now prepare their minds, that let them not think that having first class in the university guarantees that they'll be successful. And we drew the attention to people who did not score very high grade, but they are leading the world. Okay, like Mark Zuckerberg. We also came down home to talk about Nigerians that set up ULESSIN and Conga. So if you have entrepreneur spirit, okay, you are bound to succeed.
The speakers encouraged the students to embrace innovation, continuous learning, professionalism, and ethical conduct as they prepare to begin their careers.
I spoke on one of my favorite subjects generally in life, which is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is very critical to success in every aspect of life, whether at the family level, in friendship circles, at work. You definitely need to know how to relate with other people.
Speaking to newsmen during the workshop, Vice Chancellor of Bayes University, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Osita Abu, commended the Nigerian Institute of Management commitments toward empowering students with the confidence and practical skills necessary to thrive in an ever-changing global economy.
We consider this a first start in the partnership with Nigerian Institute of Management to expose our students to what happens out there in the world of work. And that is what we have successfully done here today. And we hope that it is a partnership that will continue into the future as new sets of students come in and go. Some other new sets will also come in. So it's something that can last for quite some time to come.
Some of the students expressed appreciation to the organizers, noting that the seminar provided valuable insights into career planning, networking opportunities, and the strategies for navigating work challenges. The program also featured interactive sessions, panel discussions, and mentorship opportunities, and allowing participants to engage directly with professionals from different sectors. Team members of the Institute reiterated their commitment to creating more platforms that will prepare young Nigerians for successful and rewarding careers. Pelumi Adeyemi, Aso Television News.
Now moving on, the Mole Campaign Council, TICC, has called on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to with immediate effect unfreeze the account of the Osun State government to allow for governance to continue
and the people continue to get deserving services. A statement by the Chairman, Media and Publicity Committee of the Council, Mr. Bamidele Salam, described the freezing of the state government account a few days to election as a brazen abuse of authority and attack on the people, accusing the EFCC of going outside its mandate by interfering in the upcoming governorship election in Osun State. The council said with the action of the EFCC, which it alleged was politically motivated, many essential services, including planning for some public health interventions, can no longer go on. This, it added, is very unfair to the Osun State people. The statement said while the council is not opposed to accountability in governance, it registered its total rejection to political witch hunting disguised as corruption fight. Now, the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, retired, has applauded President Bola Tinubu for approving a landmark salary increment for personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, describing the 30% to 80% pay rise as a historic reward for troops sacrificing their lives to defend the nation. General Musa, in a statement on Wednesday, said the new salary package which takes effect from September 1st, 2026, will directly benefit about 250,000 personnel across the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, and Nigerian Air Force. The Defense Minister said the approval demonstrates the federal government's renewed commitment to improving military welfare, boosting troop morale, and strengthening the operational effectiveness of the armed forces in confronting Nigeria's security challenges. He disclosed that the new salary structure would raise the annual personal cost of the armed forces from 660 billion naira to 924 billion naira, representing an additional 264 billion naira investment in the welfare of military personnel. He assured Nigerians that the military would respond to the gesture with renewed dedication, professionalism, and stronger commitment to protecting lives and property. The minister urged officers and soldiers to view the salary enhancement as a renewed call to duty, charging them to remain disciplined and continue efforts toward restoring peace and security across the country. Now, as part of ongoing efforts to fulfill its commitments, the federal government has assured public servants of its readiness to pay the outstanding wage award before the middle of August 2026, noting that the promotion arrears are being processed. Finance and Community Minister of the Economy, Mr. Tayo Oyedele, made the disclosure during a meeting with the leadership of the Joint Public Service Negotiating Council, Trade Side, led by its national president, Comrade Kabir Ado-Minjibir. Speaking, the minister affirmed that the government had already commenced work on many of the issues presented by the council even before receiving its formal communication, and that the administration remains committed to resolving legitimate labor concerns through constructive engagement. Mr. Oyedele disclosed that the necessary lease for payment of the outstanding wage award has been concluded, while expressing confidence that eligible public servants will begin to receive their payment before the middle of this month. He also assured the delegation that promotion arrears were receiving the required attention, with outstanding batches being processed in line with the established procedures, directing officials to accelerate auction on all outstanding matters requiring government intervention by reviewing all documents presented by the council. Earlier, the national president, JPSNC, Comrade Kabir Ado-Minjibir, commended the minister for receiving the delegation, highlighting that timely implementation of the outstanding commitments will further strengthen industrial harmony and boost workers' confidence in government's resolve to addressing their welfare issues. Still on business, the presidency says a strong financial performance recorded by many companies listed on the Nigerian exchange in the first half of 2026 is a direct result of the economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. In a statement, the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the unification of the foreign exchange market has improved exchange rate transparency and enabled companies with foreign currency earnings, including Aradel Holdings and Seplat Energy, to record stronger financial results. Onanuga also said the administration's approval of major oil and gas asset acquisitions involving Seplat Energy and Renaissance African Energy Consortium has boosted investor confidence, expanded production capacity, and strengthened the long-term prospects of indigenous energy companies. According to the statement, the approval of Naira payments for crude oil has supported local refining, with the Dangote refinery now exporting premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, and aviation fuel. Manufacturing firms, he added, have also benefited from improved access to foreign exchange, leading to higher production and profitability. The presidential spokesman further attributed the improved business environment to the removal of petrol subsidy, tighter monetary policies, banking sector recapitalization, and ongoing tax reforms, which he said have strengthened macroeconomic stability and increased investor confidence. The presidency maintained that The strong earnings posted by many NGX-listed companies reflect the impact of the administration's structural reforms, describing them as evidence that consistent economic policies are creating a more stable environment for business growth and investment. Now that's Aso Briefing for today. I'm Hadi Sidis Radio. Thanks for watching.